Yay! Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Hey, I sure can, man. How are you?
Great. Nice to have you. It's an honor to have you back. Welcome back to Whales Tales.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks so much.
Great things, guys, you're releasing. Really, we are so hyped. We've been watching the trailer on repeat. I've been lurking on the Star Atlas Discord all day. I've been watching past interviews with the Interstellar Alliance. Shout out to Christian, by the way. And so many things, so many things. How are you doing on your side? I assume you've watched the trailer a trillion times maybe already.
Yeah, I mean, long nights. I think the just big thanks to our whole team. I think half of us were up until 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Depending on what time zone they were in last night, just making sure we delivered on this launch. But all of the efforts definitely worth it. Just loving seeing all of this positive community feedback from the teaser trailer that we just released, the new website, and it's a very exciting time for us. Obviously going into the TGE and going into our Galactic Asset offering, and we are super excited to get the mini game out for you in relatively short timeline here, all coming up in September. So just a very exciting time, some sleepless nights, but we're having a lot of fun while we do it.
Is that the play button we saw on the top right of in the website? Is that the mini game?
Yeah, I mean, it's, so a lot of people have asked about what the minigame UI is going to look like, or if we have any live gameplay footage, but that NFT marketplace that we deployed for the Rebirth Genesis of a Metaverse campaign is the same game UI that people will be experiencing when they're going through the various gameplay loops. So everything from completing ship missions to staking land claims and building on those land claims, and then even the orbital space station crafting gameplay loop. Those are all going to take place through the same marketplace that everybody that purchased posters is familiar with.
Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Like we are very exciting. We're even watching your interactions with MC Hammer. Like this is amazing. May I ask for like, are we gonna see any more posters? Some special editions maybe? Is there room for these kind of things?
Oh, 100%. I mean, over time, we want to make sure that we're preparing these campaigns strategically. So we're not going to be launching them regularly, but I do envision, and we do envision several more posters coming to the Legends campaign. I'm sure additional campaigns in the future, but nevertheless, Rebirth itself, it was a historic moment. And I mean, we've seen a lot of trading volume going on the marketplace, and some some good asset valuations on those original posters. So what I think is really important there, though, is the way that we've added utility even to these digital collectibles, which is very much our philosophy and ideology, is that, we can create perpetual intrinsic value around the different NFTs that we're issuing through this, through models like the one we deployed for the IEO or IDOs rather, right? So not only did you get the collectible, you got all of the in-game assets based on the tier that you reached, but then on top of that, we just supplemented it with our own ticketing system to provide additional access or guaranteed access to the TGEs. And so there's nothing to prevent us from running another promotion in the future, maybe around a season that we launch, where any of the Rebirth poster holders or Legends poster holders or future posters contribute some value back to the player, whether it be through early access or privileged access, or something for free that we can drop on people. So we think that's really promising, and that's kind of our commitment, is to continue delivering on that.
As you said, the assets appreciated. There is a lot of interest behind the sale, behind all the metaverse economy. But at the same time, we're seeing yield guilds, we're seeing Axie Infinity, we're seeing a bunch of play to earn games. And we're seeing big business moving in and actually creating contracts and actually giving scholarship and taking advantage of cheap labor in Southeast Asia and things like that. Do you see this happening also in Star Atlas?
Well, yeah, without question. I mean, the financial models and incentive models that we're seeing, the innovation around those that are coming out, we're absolutely, I would say, ahead of the curve on ways that we can gamify and incentivize user adoption. Obviously we pushed out the game economics and tokenomic white paper on the 17th. So that is an entry point for people to start to understand the various mechanics that provide financial value to them. But absolutely, there are so many opportunities to enable players to individually, or users individually, create value for themselves that exist outside of our core game mechanics. And that's where we think the real potential in the metaverse is really enabling the user base. And I've mentioned this on several conversations in the past, but it is extremely critical for us to establish a robust circular economy wherein value is actually being contributed back, and alternative revenue paths are derived from that, as opposed to a pure extractive subsidy-based economy, which is, a good bootstrapping tool. And part of the inflation of Atlas or Polis over time goes to attracting those initial users and rewarding those users. But in the long term, it is very important that we achieve some degree of stability in both Atlas and Polis, and we just enable people to create new experiences. And that's, for us, it's beneficial because we get the efforts of a global population contributing to development, and that just adds value to the total economy within the metaverse.
Yeah, but do you think like a simple player that is not really trying to make this game his income, he's just a player, is going to be able to compete with a big business that employs hundreds of people and deploys them everywhere across the metaverse? Is it going to be a simulation of of the real world where big business is around calling the shots?
I love this topic. There's been some really engaging conversation in Discord around this, and I will shout out here. Last week I was on a Twitter live spaces with Delphi Digital team, Jeremy, and we discussed this pretty extensively. If you weren't able to catch the live stream, I know that Delphi will be posting a recording of that relatively soon. I was just on with Republic on the podcast, and Gabby himself was, founder of YGG, was on that AMA with me as well, and we really jived in conversation, and we're just extremely aligned in our thinking. So the big question I think that you're driving at, though, is, are we going to create a fiefdom economy wherein smaller capital, contributors to the economy aren't competitive with the big players? And I don't think that's going to be the case. We are developing out a very large universe that the individual player will be able to explore and take control of on their own, and that's starting with purchasing something as little as $5 to $20 worth of game assets, or maybe $40 or $50 worth of game assets. And just on that point, most people would spend $50 just to purchase a title which they have no ownership over. And in our case, people ask if it's free to play. It's, there is some capital requirement to get into the game, but the truth of the matter is you still own those assets. So I would think of it almost as kind of staking your wallet to start playing Star Atlas with the ability to withdraw that later. Because if you buy ships for $20 and land for $20 and your total commitment is $40, if you decide to stop playing, you can turn around and resell those. And obviously that's going to be based on secondary market sales at that point. But there's a high probability that you'll be able to get your $40 back out. So to that end, I do think that it's really more of a free to play, but staking of capital up front and the ability to earn off of that in the meantime. So individual players can grow and progress and play individually if they want to. I think there's going to be a lot of value to collaborating and joining guilds and joining clans. And you mentioned Interstellar Alliance. We have some amazing guilds that are already forming in Discord in our guild recruit channel. So definitely connect up with people there if you're looking for partners. But beyond that, I've made this statement, but I truly believe that the metaverse will be the largest job market and job economy that the world has ever seen. And it really destroys or tears down geographical borders and restrictions that people are exposed to just based on where they were born, right? And moving physically through the world is not easy, and getting citizenship or residency somewhere else is not easy. But within the virtual world, within the metaverse, identifying a job that is paying fair wages is going to be extremely seamless and frictionless, because even if it is large players or large, call them whales, that are purchasing a substantial amount of assets, and these purchasers don't have the ability to manage and operate all of those assets. And one of the core mechanisms in the game economics is that land value tax, right? And so this is a constant burn. It's a constant drain on an asset owner, especially if they're not able to produce value off of that property. And so what we end up with is a scenario where call it investors are purchasing large quantities of assets with no intent to utilize it, but they will go out and hire people from all around the world to actually operate those assets on their behalf. And then it just becomes like any other company, except in a virtual world. So they're looking at profit margins, they're looking at whatever their assets can generate in income, and they're looking at their bottom line, the expenses attributed to players that they're hiring to manage that for them. And so this is kind of comparable to the Axie scholarship model. I mean, we have a different term for it, but it could be anything from people directly managing assets and employees, or people contributing to lending pools and allowing other people to rent it in more of a sharing economy format. So that was kind of a long answer, but I hope that.
No, you totally covered me. Totally covered me. And since you give me a great pass, because I was listening to your conversation with in the Interstellar Alliance Discord, and you said that a mine could employ up to 10 people. Like could give like real could be maybe I remember wrongly, so correct me if I'm wrong, but they're going to be full-time jobs for people like serving this mine. Could you like walk us quickly through this idea?
Yeah, and I mean, just to be clear, that was an arbitrary number that I was throwing out. We don't know what the specific operating requirements will be for a mine, but just think about if you wanted coverage on a 24-hour shift, that might be 3 people that are working 8-hour shifts to cover those assets, right? And every single mine that you operate requires that same degree of interaction, or maybe more, depending on how sophisticated we make the other mechanics. But with that said, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
It's about all the mines, and how can you like, what are the jobs that the tasks that are going to be doing these people kind of in a like what, in order to produce value for the game, for the owner, to pay the taxes, and to be profitable enough to pay those workers.
Yeah, so it really just depends on what assets the larger stakeholder possesses. If it's mines, then you're going to need people to operate the mining equipment, make sure it's maintained, make sure drills aren't wearing out, and so you want to make sure that you're always producing. You want to make sure that it's defended appropriately, and what that means is that you might have one person that's managing the mine. You have another person that's managing the orbital space station. You have a person that's managing shipping and freight, because if you're producing on one planet, you want to take that to another planet to refine it, or a separate space station to refine it, then you need somebody to be that freighter, that long hauler. You might hire people for security, because if you're out in the medium risk zone and you're getting attacked in PvP, while medium risk is non-permanent death, the impact to land assets is that they can be taken offline. And so if your shields go down and your equipment gets destroyed, now you have to pay to repair it. You have to pay to replace parts that got destroyed. And you're missing out on all of the revenue while it's not in action. And so you might hire, private security, and that could be somebody else's role in the metaverse, is just purely, one clan that is security patrol, and they monitor regions of space and they make sure that nobody's invading. So there are just so many different roles that people can take. And if we take that to like the decentralized autonomous corporation level, the guild level, there might be directors of the company that don't necessarily engage in gameplay. They might be living on a central space station or a central hab that is owned by the guild, but they're managing things like corporate treasury. They're making decisions on how to allocate resources across their entire operation, and also figuring out things like, maybe the blueprint to create a certain NFT that you would like to craft, and the planet that you own on is only producing a certain type of material or mineral, and so you have an option of either finding another planet or another parcel that allows you to complete that process that has the minerals you need, or you have somebody that's just sitting there and actively trading on the markets and looking for opportunities to buy those pieces that they require to complete the production process. And then there's another whole aspect of the actual crafting itself that might require oversight and operating inputs. So it's really limitless, and we are just at the very beginning of this. And
it's insane. It's really wow! I really want to play. This sounds like the what EVE Online would want it to be in the future. Like this is a much more advanced. This is beautiful. I can imagine the level of planning required in order to reach the top levels in whatever guild system exists. You touched upon combat. I've heard this question in many discords, in many conversations. I know we're going to have ship-to-ship combat, space combats, and these kind of things. Are we going to have any PvP, FPS PvP, like where someone is defending a planet on the ground?
I don't want to misspeak on this. Danny would really be the better guy to answer this. But we are shooting for both first person and third person modes across ships and across land. So I would anticipate yes. I'm not sure what the scope of that is right at this immediate moment, though.
That's awesome. We would love to have this change. Um, I have a couple more questions that are coming from the website, which is absolutely amazing, both on mobile and on desktop. I checked it in both places. Amazing, absolutely. Congratulations, really. You have a triple A team. Bravo.
Thank you so much. I really love the theme that we ended up settling on, and a lot of like space and sci-fi genre, either video games, movies, whatever, anything that's kind of futuristic tends to have this very like cold aesthetic, steel and blue and dark, and space is all black. And we have a different vision for what the future can look like, and it's definitely brighter than that dark, cold reality that's presented so often. And so that we tried to reflect that in the website. And I love the way it came out. That was many months in the making. So we kicked off our trailer development and the website development, and I'm kind of forgetting the timeline, but it was either March or April. And a lot of effort from the product team went into making sure that those were delivered the experience that we wanted to. So very happy with the outcome.
Should we look for Easter eggs in any of the two, website or trailer?
No comment.
All right, and couple very specific questions coming from newly released images on the website. There is a V-Zeus O-Pod, and it says that it's in exploration mode. Does that mean that the ships have modes where you just put different attachments and they just go, I don't know, exploration mode? You can't fight, you flee combat, so you need to be fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, not getting into the specifics of those mechanics right at the moment, but there will be a high degree of specialization that can take place across virtually every facet of the game. So, the way that let me use the ship configuration tool as an example, which will come out in one of the iterations of the minigame release. But you're going to be looking at a schematic of the ship and deciding which components you want to outfit it with. And based on that selection of sub NFTs that go into those slots, that's really where you identify your particular style of play. So they're not completely utilitarian in nature. They do have their own kind of base specializations, but you as the individual player will also be able to modify that. And that goes into, the selection of your crew, who you put in the ship. It goes into weapon system, it goes into defenses, and then also just kind of the base model of the ship, and then how you're operating that ship. Are you looking to actively engage, or are you just looking to get from point A to point B? And so that's what that's referring to with the change in modes.
Man, you've answered everything in such detail that I kind of wonder, like, how can you be so close to everything? Are you writing the lore yourself? How are you doing all this? Like, are you close to the PR team, the design team, the lore team? Amazing! I'm super amazed, and you can judge a ship by its captain, so we're very bullish. Bravo!
I just wing it most of the time, to be honest with you. I'm honestly very grateful. None of the none of the core departments require a significant amount of close oversight. So, we're very active on calls with each other and collaborating cross department. But all of the guys in leadership, Danny, Jacob, Pablo, Michael Liu is tech lead, and just really everybody on the team is so passionate about what we're doing and so enthusiastic about what we're doing. I can't even believe the productive output of some of these teams. And we want to make sure that we can maintain a positive work-life balance. Obviously, we're in go mode right now, but it's not like people are being forced to work. It's people are working because they want to, and that's it's incredibly beneficial for us and for the community just to see the rapid pace of progress. But it doesn't. I try to be close to everything and try to understand all of what's going on, but there's a ton behind the scenes that even I don't know and you guys don't know. But that's why we try to be careful with the amount of information that we release, because a lot of this is a very evolving process. And I've mentioned in the past that we really are exploring brand new territory here, something that's never been done before. And that requires a lot of experimentation and research and development. So a lot of unknowns, and we are just solving problems every single day.
We're impressed, and we look forward on all the developments. And I don't want to hold you anymore. I know you have many of those little calls like you just had. I can imagine you've been watching the trailer and answering similar-ish questions. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Thank you to Sylvia. Thank you to the people that actually made this happen. And I hope to speak to you again very, very soon for a more general metaverse finance. Maybe we bounce some ideas on how these metaverse economies can actually evolve. Again, thank you so much. It was an honor.
I love it. I'm up for it anytime. And yeah, thanks for the opportunity. A lot more to come. So very exciting future ahead.
Take care, man.
All right,
get some rest. Goodbye.
Soon. We'll see you.
Alright, this went okay, right? What an awesome dude. This went okay. So this worked, right? With the Google Hangout things. Guys, I'm a happy guy. I'm always happy guy, energetic, just hit the gym. I'm like, pumping with hormones. And I'm also drinking a beer. I haven't eaten. I'm empty stomached drinking a beer. It's just half a liter of beer. So, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Michael Wagner. Thank you, Star Atlas Discord, for being super amazing. Man, these guys. Thank you to Christian from the Interstellar Alliance. This guy, guys. I don't know. I need to go check the other guilds, but everything is going to seem completely unprofessional after meeting Christian and talking to him. It's like the guy is crazy. SPL Leaf is asking when game. Dude, this is a question you do not ask. Really, this is when you're talking to a team that is developing a game that is just tapping into an unexplored territory. You just don't ask for timeline. This is the no-go. It's like you don't ask a woman her age. You don't ask a game developer about the timeline. Especially these guys. Yeah, and it's a fucking strong beer. Right? It's 8.9. What the fuck am I drinking? Wine? What the fuck? Cheers, guys. Again, the people were asking like who was the third person in the call. That was Sylvia. She's part of the Star Atlas PR team. Can I say that she is the girl that made this happen? Shout out to Sylvia. And I'm honored, I'm honored to have guys. I'll give the answer to the question I didn't ask. The question I didn't ask was, are these scenes real scenes? Are they from the game? They are rendered, so they are enhanced, so they are not from the game, although the game is going to look really good because they're going for an Unreal Engine 5, which is something that is being developed now. So you're not once the game releases in 4 years, and I'm being pessimistic here, 4 years pessimistic, and then I'm not part of I have no extra information. I'm pulling lots of things from my ass, and I don't know many things. I'm not from the Star Atlas team. I have no information, but I'm being pessimistic here. 3 years now. If you're part of the gaming scene and you know Star Citizen, When did it start? I've even googled that. So in September 11th, 2015, Star Citizen started development. We are 25th of August 2021, and the game is in alpha. So understand the context here. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Again, thank you for. We had over 120 people. Like, we had lots of people on YouTube. We had a couple of people on media. Shout out to the media team, because the smoothest stream out of the three, Twitch, media, and YouTube, is fucking media. So shout out to the media team and everybody else, guys. Thank you so fucking much. And are there any non-OGs in the chat? If the OG drops, you know, guys, happen either on YouTube or on Twitch. So if you're on media, guys, I can't see your chat, I'm sorry. But if you are on Shake the Man, I assume that's the Shake dude. What's up, bro, man? I missed you because you were too late to come to Athens, but we should have met. We should have drunk, we should have chilled. So any non-OG in Grape, anybody that would like to get some kind of sneak peek on the very first tokenized community in Solana? New viewer, thank you everybody, really, guys. Thank you to the Grape Discord, thank you to the Star Atlas Discord, thank you to Sylvia, to Michael Wagner, to Dean Machine, to Billy, to the whole, to Legend, to everybody. I'm sober to have pounded a Freddo Espresso. Dude, thank you so much for not telling me about that frappe thing that nobody drinks. I don't know, maybe some old guy in a fucking village, and you went for the Freddo Espresso. Yeah, you go for the Freddo Espresso, no sugar, to really fucking feel the coffee. It needs to be a good machine with lots of pressure and freshly ground coffee. Very important shit, but you wouldn't know if you haven't been to Greece. So please join Grape, join Star Atlas, join, I don't know, vacations in Greece. It's pretty good. On this note, this is not a stream day. We stream, what do we stream? We stream Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 6 o'clock UTC. This is not a there are no sponsorships, there's no acting, there's no nothing. I drink beers and I lose money. This is how it works. We are all together here, lose money. Air quotes. We are in crypto, in the net positive. Let's say it like that. But here we are, and since I see lots of new viewers, guys, imagine this. I'm giving you a visual journey here, so just bear with me. We are all holding hands, running, chest in front. The cliff is in front of us. This is just a really, really deep fall. This is like Grand Canyon style. It's just void underneath. We are all having a blindfold. We're just running. Our money is full of, our pockets are full of money. They're just, just coming out, and we're just dropping money, and we're all running towards the cliff. This is Whale's Tales, so we are all taking stupid risks, we are doing apes, we're playing with shitcoins, and in the end of the day, we're having fun and getting a little bit tipsy, right? So, Shake the Man, back in Portugal, obviously, man, obviously. And there is a secret Telegram group with Portugal stuff happening, and I just pitched today that we should get a ginormous castle with 19 bathrooms and 2 indoor pools, and just go 1 week earlier, leave 1 week later, and just have some fun. On that note, last fucking thank you. I'm not gonna say any more thank yous, but thank you to everybody for making this real, for getting the viewership above 120 people. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't deserve all these things. Let's talk again tomorrow. What are we going to do tomorrow? I have no fucking clue. That's the thing. I'm fucking all day with grape, and then I have to stream. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What am I gonna say to my internet friends? I don't see Gatoshi, he's not around. Meh. On that note, I'll leave you guys. I'll leave you. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock UTC, here, or on media, or on Twitch, or on YouTube. I don't know, you can call me if you want. Take care, guys.